Well, I want you to help me do something real quick. We have your mentor and mine coming on next, and I would like for you to give a little bit of background on how you and Sheila knew each other and how y'all met, and introduce her for us.
Oh, I'd love to. How exciting. Well, Sheila and Helen were in the business that me and Helen were in for years and years. Sheila and Helen were in this, she was in the business with us. I did not know Sheila, but Helen and Sheila knew each other. So when Helen told me who had introduced her to Plexus, that she trusted Sheila's, view and insight on this, I felt like I knew her automatically. So we immediately, Helen joined Plexus, and 5 minutes later called me, gave me her ambassador number, and I joined. And so Helen and me and Sheila stayed on the phone quite a bit with questions for several months. And then when Sheila came out here in November of 2012, that was the first time that I had met Sheila. And I drug her around my small town. I drug her around, her and Helen. We went in the beauty shops, the schools, the medical centers, and Sheila would just crack up because, like, I knew everybody, and everybody knew me. And it was so much fun. And Sheila she's just like, she's one of those best friends, those sister family. I adore her. I love her. I value her character, her morals. I just love traveling with her, and she's just a blessing in my life and thousands of lives. So help us welcome the one and only, the first-time ambassador, Sheila Medina.
Miss Sheila Medina, can you unmute yourself, please, ma'am?
I think I did that.
You did. You did. Good. Thank you for joining us. We're so happy. I don't think I could have given you any better introduction than that.
Leave it to Sonia.
Well, Sonia, thank you for being with us today. Thank you for helping me introduce Sheila to everybody, and we will see you down the road.
All right. You're welcome. Blessings to you. Thank you for doing this today.
Absolutely. Bye. Well, Miss Sheila, let's talk a little bit about you and Plexus and how you got started. You're not the typical story on starting with the weight loss. You were actually with Plexus before that. So give us a little bit of background on that.
Oh, I'd be happy to. And it's interesting, Lyndon, just to see what's happened with Plexus Worldwide in the last couple years. But I had the opportunity of being with Plexus before Plexus Slim came along. We were just a little breast health company, and we thought, wow, this is going to be amazing because they only had 2 products. They both had to deal with helping women not get breast cancer, but just be more aware of their breast. And so it was a very simple business with only 2 products, and it was exciting because in my other business I knew a lot of women, and I thought, wow, I can really help them with this breast kit and this breast cream. So it was, and then one day in July of 2009, I got a call from the corporate along with the co-developer Plexus Slim asking me if I would try a brand new product that was going to help people lose weight. And I thought, oh, really? You want to bring a weight loss product into my little tiny breast health company? Why would you want to do that? And so I was kind of negative. I was like, oh, I don't know. And they were like, well, let us just tell you a little bit about it. It was originally in a type 2 diabetic trial. During the course of the trial, everyone that was a type 2 diabetic, their sugars began to level out, their cholesterol came down, blood pressure came down, but there was this great side benefit, and the side benefit was everyone lost weight. And I thought, well, I'm not a diabetic, and I don't have any cholesterol problems or blood pressure problems, but I definitely could lose a few pounds. I had just put on 30 pounds from a hormone issue. And so I thought, what happens if this really works? And so they asked me, of course, to do 2 things, and I've always said with every diet comes those underlying things that you're like, well, if you had just done that, you probably would have lost the weight. But the 2 things they asked me to do was to not change my eating habits. Yay, I live in the South, we fry everything. And secondly, don't start a new exercise program. Well, I talk about exercise a lot, and surely that's got to count for something. But I thought, okay, before you change the rules, I want to be involved. And so they sent me this product. It didn't even have a name. They sent me this product. It was not pretty. It was in a plastic jar. It was in white packets. And they told me to simply add it to a bottle or a glass of water, and drink it once a day. And I thought, how can it be that simple? This is not going to work, but I'm just going to indulge them and try it anyway. So I did. I started that July 9th, and we introduced Plexus Slim September the 6th. And during those 3 months of simply just drinking it once a day, I lost like 20 pounds and 12 inches. I was amazed, totally amazed in my results. But you know what was even better than that is all my friends and family started noticing. I mean, you lose 5 pounds and women want to know, what are you doing? And I had to keep it a secret. This is terrible. I had to keep it a secret, one, because I didn't know the name of it, but two, I really didn't know what it was. I didn't know how to explain it to anyone, and so I just told them, as soon as I can find out what the name of it is going to be and if we're really going to introduce it, I promise to share it with you. And that's kind of how it started. Is I just started sharing it with family and friends and people that had seen me lose a couple pounds, and all of a sudden we're in business with Plexus. And I decided that December to retire from my other business and really work Plexus more on a full-time basis. And when I mean full-time, of course, certainly wasn't like a 40-hour work week, but just to go out there and really start sharing the product, because as much as I love the clinical trials and seeing patients 1 through 8, I don't know who those people are. And to me, if I was going to get behind a product, I wanted to make sure that it was helping the people that I knew. And so with a little help from Coach and a couple other people, we started going out and just sharing the product. And you'll hear from him later today. He has an amazing testimony of being a 4-shot-a-day diabetic. So you'll hear from him later, and I don't want to steal any of his thunder. But he and I just really started going out and talking to anybody that would listen to us. We went to faculty meetings, you know, Bible studies, anybody that would listen to us. And we didn't try to sell anything. We would just share the product, and they would follow us out to our cars going, you got to give us more than that. We want to know what it is and how do we get it. And so we did that for about a year, and we just really started saying, you know what, the best way to work this business is simply off people's testimonies. Let's use the testimonies to be our inroad on how to make this a successful business. So that's what we did for the year 2010, is we just went out and helped build Plexus by sharing the product and collecting testimonies. And I tell you, I can't believe that I made that decision. Sometimes it is really about being in the right place at the right time, but of course I think everything was truly divine intervention, because someone in South Mississippi, from Ocean Springs, Mississippi, that would hear about this product and get to be on the ambassador trial, it was really a dream come true for me. And you know, a lot of people say, what's different between this business and another business that you've done? Is I really feel like that my dreams are coming true, and I'm working my full potential. Sometimes that's not a very positive word, because we assume that everyone has such potential, but to see your potential fulfilled is amazing, and my journey with Plexus has certainly been that, more than amazing.
Well, that is so cool. I know I have watched you go from Emerald Ambassador when I first met you to our first Diamond, which was very exciting for me. But I actually knew personally the first Diamond Ambassador in the company, and so that was a really cool thing for me. But I love the way that you tell stories about, you know, different people that you talk to and see all over the country that have had great success and everything with Plexus, and you just share those so well. I think that's part of this business, is that you have to be kind of a storyteller and share what people do and let you know out there. Do you agree with that?
You know, it is great to be a storyteller, but I believe that anyone can learn to tell a story, and it's a lot of fun when you're sharing a story that you're familiar with. And you know, you say, oh, it was neat to know me, but it was pretty easy to know because there wasn't but just a few of us to begin with. So it was easy to know who I was. But you know, as we've grown and there are so many people moving up the achievement ranks, that is just so phenomenal. I am so excited for, you know, all the Sonias and the Helens and the Coaches and Patties and Deborahs in the world, because it is amazing to watch everybody grow. Just going to Pensacola and seeing you guys every couple of months or maybe once a month there for a while and watching what was happening. And it didn't matter where I went. When someone shared a testimony with me, that was just a new short story that I could share with someone else. And so I tell people, listen to people's testimonies and then share that with others. And I love our Wednesday night opportunity call when we have random ambassadors share their testimony, and then we'll have a business testimony at the end. It's a 20-minute call. If you don't know how to share a testimony, then share someone else's. If you don't have your testimony, if you're not exactly where you want to be yet with your Plexus product or business, then share someone that has had amazing results, or even those 5 pounds or 50 pounds or 150 pounds. They're all fantastic stories, and everybody has their own journey, and so we just need to know that it's going to work differently for different people, and learn to share someone's story if you don't have your own, because a lot of times people get tired of hearing your story and you want to share someone else's. And so it's good to go hear those stories, and you can, call in every week and hear 2 new amazing testimonies that you can go out and share with someone, so you can learn to tell a story. It's all about duplication. The simpler you keep your duplication, the more prosperous you're going to be in this business.
Absolutely, I agree with that. And speaking of duplication, your husband is also an ambassador. I haven't heard his rank level lately, so tell me where he's at on that.
Well, he is on the verge of going Emerald himself, but here's the thing. He's having to do it all on his own. I'm not helping him. He officially retired after 35 years of working with an industry here locally, and so as a retirement present, just prior to him retiring in January of this year, I said, okay, you're on your own. I'm not going to help you, because I really feel like that he needs to learn all there is about the business. And so he's doing such a great job. He's sending out emails, posting on Facebook, going to the meetings on a regular basis, and sharing other people's testimonies, and he has had quite a few personals sign up just this last couple of weeks. And so he's made a very great January for himself, so that when he does earn that title of Emerald, which should just be so in the near future here, when people say, oh, well, your wife was the diamond and the first diamond, you know what? He won't fall into that, because he did it all by himself, and I'm so proud of him for doing that. And we are just one lucky family that we can retire years before we even thought or dreamed that we would be able to retire. And, of course, we love working together and being together anyway, so now I get more work done, because when we go places, he drives and I work on the iPad or whatever I need to do, or talk on the phone mostly. And so it's kind of neat. I have extra hours to work my own business because he's retired. So it's just working out really, really great.
Well, that is so fun. I'm glad to hear that, and to know that he's earning it himself. That's very cool too.
That's right.
Now, have you started on your second ambassadorship?
I have, and in Plexus, there is an 11th way to earn an income, and that is once you become a Diamond Ambassador, you can re-enter under your own position. So I have a Sheila number 1 and a Sheila number 2, and so you can re-enter under yourself. And, I haven't been on Facebook posting where I'm at with that position and everything, because I want people to know that once you re-enter, that is where the 11th income comes, and you'll move up the ranks just like everyone else with your second position. And it's really neat to get that gold bonus and senior gold bonus and so on and so forth again. But just to know that the company allows that is just so amazing. I mean, for us to be able to get to the top position and then re-enter. So it's been very interesting, because I have got to see it from a new set of eyes as a brand new ambassador, and where we are today. And I'll tell you that it's been a lot easier to build my second position than it was the first, because the first one, we went through a couple of challenges and trials, which I wouldn't give them up for anything in the world. They'll never be able to take those challenges away from me, because we wanted to make sure that we knew what we were talking about when we spoke about the product, and we wanted to make sure that we had those testimonies to fall back on. And I'll tell you, for the people that are thinking of starting their business today, you guys are so fortunate, because all the tools are there, all the testimonies are there. I mean, if you knew what tools I started out with, you would be like, oh, I don't want to work that business. So as a new ambassador, I'm telling you to join now, because now is the perfect timing to start your Plexus career. Whether you want to do a little bit or a lot with this business is totally up to you, but the tools are there. Everything's in place to make you be as successful as you want to be. And so now is the time to start your Plexus business.
Yeah, I agree. it was even a little sketchy when I started. You guys had broke the ground and was there for us, but it was really kind of, you know, a little hairy sometimes, not knowing what was going on or how to do something. So I appreciate y'all breaking the ground and all of that for us and getting it ready, because this is an absolutely amazing company that I've said before, I've never been really involved with any other network marketing or MLM or anything like that, and this business is just great. I love it. It's easy. Sharing, that's all it is, sharing. You have said that more than once to me, that it's just all about sharing, and it is just that. If you are happy and passionate about it, then you're going to be able to share without any problems. So I love the way that you said that too, that it's a totally different aspect now that you're in there the second time around.
That it is.
Yeah, well, we were supposed to have your buddies, the Cuevases, on, but they have not joined in with us yet. So we are hoping that they will click on here pretty soon. But I appreciate your time with us, and on this Saturday, taking your time out, and look forward to having you back on in the near future.
Well, thank you, Lyndon, for letting me share. You know, it's what I love best about Plexus is the ability to share the business and share the product and share it with your family and friends, and of course strangers or just simply people you haven't met yet. So it's all good.
And your tagline is you're a product. You're a product of the product, right?
You're a product of the product. And you know, if we're waiting on the Cuevases, I'd love to share a new skill that I'm teaching for new ambassadors.
Well, absolutely.
Oh, okay, great. And it's really, it's a couple things. Patty and Deborah and I, we get together and we come up with ideas, and we say if we put our three brains together, we can come up with really one good idea. And so we came up with the perfect 10, and of course it's not new, but it's new for us, and it's a 3 + 3 + 3 + 1. And it's sharing the product with 3 people, sharing the opportunity with 3 people, and sharing your knowledge with 3 team members, and attending 1 Plexus event a week, which can be a conference call or a meeting, or it can be a number of things. And so, but just to do daily activity and to keep up with it can take you a long way in this business. And so we know that daily activity, weekly activity can take you to the next level. So try that perfect 10. And you know what? If you don't quite do a perfect 10, we're coming into the Olympic season and everybody wants to be the perfect 10. But if you can't do a perfect 10 and you only do some of it, it could be more activity than you've ever done before, and you can watch your business explode in Plexus.
Okay, tell us those 3s again.
Okay, it's 3 + 3 + 3 + 1. 3, share the product with 3 people, share the opportunity with 3 people, share your skills and knowledge with 3 of your team members, if that applies, and attend 1 Plexus event a week. And today's summit could be your Plexus event. A conference call on Wednesday night could be your event. If you have a local meeting, you can do that. Maybe a team call could be your event. There's no major rules to it. Just know that we're just looking for you to have some type of activity during the course of the week to help you build your business. And we believe basic duplication is the key to become successful. And so keeping the duplication simple, everyone loves to share the product. And you know, you could do it all in one time frame. You could go to an event and bring 3 guests. They're going to hear the product presentation, they'll hear the opportunity, and if you have 3 team members there, you've accomplished that along with being at a meeting. So if you're brand new and you only want to give the business 2 hours, go find a meeting to go to and bring 3 friends with you, and you've accomplished your perfect 10 for the week.
That is great insight. I love it. I love it. 3 + 3 + 3 + 1. I can do that. I can absolutely do that. Now, this is a trivia question for you. How many miles do you think you have traveled with Plexus?
Oh my gosh, I wouldn't even know where to start. You know, I have 2 Lexuses, so I put miles, I alternate the miles on them, but I have a lot of miles on that little white Lexus, and I have a lot of miles on the new Lexus, and of course before the Lexus program even came about, we put a lot of miles on my previous car, so I don't know, but I think I've been around the world a couple times, but it's all good because I love to travel, I love meeting new people, and I love sharing this business and this product. And you know, you got to be a product of the product, but most of all, you've got to love this business. And if you love it, it'll show, and it won't be a job if you love what you do.
Well, that's cool. I know that you have been great with us. I consider us kind of your stepchildren over here in Pensacola, because we're not actually in your downline that we have figured out genealogy-wise, but you have always been so helpful. I know whenever I first started, I contacted you and I was like, okay, I'm going to do a show. And I have no idea what to do, and you were so giving to come over that first night of that show and help us out with it. You and your hubby both. He kind of hung out and talked with us too. So I know that you have done that with so many people throughout, and that this group of us is family throughout the company. And Alfred said that today. There's no, oh, get away from me. That's not your meeting to be at or whatever. And you've always been welcoming to us. So I think that that's really great. And I think that we have the Cuevases joining us. We do. Let me let you, Sheila, tell a little bit about how you got started in Patti and Ronnie's kitchen, and we'll introduce them that way.
Great. Oh, I'd love to. Well, first, Patti and I go back a long time. Patti and I were in the same business, and we were holding meetings together, and someone mentioned something about breast and cysts in the breast, and after the meeting was over with, I kind of whispered to her and said, hey, I've got this self-breast examination kit, and she got mad at me because she said, I can't believe you've been keeping this a secret. And that's the thing about Plexus, we're really good about keeping it a secret, and so she said, I can't believe you've been keeping this a secret from me. So her and I started doing a couple little things and just integrating the breast kit in it, and then of course when the Slim came out and she saw that I'd lost a few pounds, she wanted to know about that as well, and she was already an ambassador, and we decided to have a weight loss party. Now, we didn't have a clue who might show up at these weight loss parties, but she had some family members that wanted to lose some weight and some friends that wanted to lose some weight, so I went to their home to do a weight loss party, and it's amazing because I think maybe 6 people were there, and I think 5 people signed up and 1 person decided to buy the product. It was 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Everybody wanted to know how to get involved with this business, and so because of Ronnie's amazing testimony is why we decided a couple months later to go full-time with Plexus. And so I had been at one extreme end. I didn't have any conditions. I just wanted to lose some weight, and then there was Ronnie with all his conditions, and he has an amazing testimony that he's going to share. And so we really just started this little group that we would go around and we would do events, and of course Patti had not retired from being a school teacher, so she would sleep in the back seat, and Ronnie and I would try to keep each other awake by talking about everything that happened at Plexus, and we would go from event to event, but knowing that we could sleep in the next morning and Patti had to go to work. But I tell you what, we were the 3 musketeers, and it was so exciting working this business with Ronnie and Patti, and we know we wouldn't be where we are today if it hadn't been for all of us just working together to create such an amazing ground floor. And with Ronnie and Patti at my side, it was a win-win for me. And so I am just thrilled to introduce to you my very first ambassadors that moved up in their ranks so quickly, and that would be Patti and Ronnie Cuevas.
Well, thank you, Sheila, for that introduction to them. Patti, you guys need to unmute your microphone, so if you can do that real quick. I am so thrilled, and I wanted to tell you how much I appreciate you again, Sheila, for having us as your adoptive downline over here in Pensacola. Wouldn't be anywhere without you guys, too.